You're watching News 8.
CPA Jamie Block is back with us. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
So we're talking about something a lot of people are questioning. What happens with stimulus checks as it relates to our tax return? So for people who got money in the form of stimulus checks last year and another payment earlier this year, what do they need to know about these payments?
Yeah, so the CARES Act that was passed in March of 27th of last year allowed individuals to receive these payments. In early 2020, it was about $1,200 per person and $500 per dependent. And then the second round of payments happened earlier this year, and that was $600 per dependent and per person as well.
All right, these payments, do they have to be reported as income on the 2020 return?
No, these are actually prepayment of income tax credits. And they were based on your 2018 or 19 tax return, depending on which one you'd filed. So if your income was too high during these years, the payments you may have been reduced or eliminated. So you have, if you received the first payment based on your 2018 tax return, and then you filed your 19 return and your income was higher, you may not have gotten the second payment.
What about if people's incomes went down in 2020? What's the impact here?
Yeah, so the income limit is based on your adjusted gross income, or AGI. For married individuals, the AGI limit was about $150,000 and started to phase out until you got to $174,000 and then was eliminated after that. It's $75,000 to $87,000 for single and married filing separate filers. And lastly, $112,000 to $124,500 for head of household filers. So if your income decreased in 2020, or if you got married or had a child, you may be entitled to this credit on your 2020 tax return. You have to file a tax return in order to get the credit. So, and this credit will offset any tax that you have, and then after that, any excess will get refunded to you.
Let's take the other side of the coin. What happens if your income went substantially up in 2020? Any impact there?
Yeah, so this is one of those really rare occasions that the IRS is not requiring anybody who got too much money and got an overpayment of this credit to pay it back. So note that if you receive the correct amount of stimulus and you're not required to file a tax return usually, there's no need to file a 2020 return to claim this credit.
Rarely said in this segment, very generous of the IRS. What happens if, one payment received in 2020, the other received in 2021? Do they go on separate returns? How do we handle that?
Yeah, so here's another reporting nuance with the IRS. The 2020 payment must be reported on your 2020 tax return to claim that recovery rebate credit. The 2021 payment can be reported on either your 2020 or your 2021 tax return. I highly recommend that if you're entitled to the credit, that you record it on your 2021 payment, so that way you get, on your 2020 tax return, so that way you get it quicker.
All right, barking dogs included this morning. Jamie, thank you. We appreciate it as always. By the way, if you don't know the amount of stimulus you received, go online at irs.gov to find out. We'll have that link on our site as well at rochesterfirst.com.